Welcome to the Infinite Musician Podcast. I'm Dan Weiss, creator and owner of MFile Music Theory and Songwriting. We are all about helping you gain control of your creative passion and power so you can become the musician you are supposed to be, making the most impact with your music by creating the music that you hear in your head. Let's talk a little bit about the idea of tending to the fires, quote unquote, of your musical passions. So when is the last time you heard a song or saw somebody perform and you felt that urge to pick up the guitar, pick up your instrument, go practice? You know, when was it that something just struck you so hard that you were like, I gotta play music, I have to. It pushes you, it inspires you, it moves you forward. When is the last time you felt that? Truly. If you can't answer that question, you should probably stop what you're doing right now and go find it. Literally, whatever is in your hands, just drop it, pick up some headphones, go down a YouTube rabbit hole until something blows you completely out of the water. Many times in my life, too many to count, music from every conceivable genre has inspired me, like a man possessed, to bolt from wherever I'm sitting and find the nearest guitar, pick it up, and just start playing or do something or try and figure out what I heard, or just, something triggers something and an idea hits me and then I gotta go. Sometimes it's a certain lick or a scale pattern used in a certain way, or a really juicy chord, or even just a feeling that overwhelms you and you need to try and find your own way to recreate that. What inspires you keeps you passionate about what you are doing. Your convictions are rock solid and your resolve makes your progress effortless. This is a balance that must be kept. Now, little real talk here, but I have suffered from depression most of my life. And if anyone out there knows what that is like, then you understand that seeing your guitar or your instrument on a day when you don't feel like doing anything is painful. Something that brought me so much joy in the past, and I can't bring myself to just pick it up and practice and play. Then the shame spiral starts, and it's bad news. Even without the burden of mental illness or depression or anything, practice fatigue is a real issue with anybody who plays music. And it can be hard to play through the pain or even just the general feeling of, not right now, I can do it later. The thing that has kept me from stopping playing outright has always been discovering new music or rediscovering music I already knew about and maybe kind of forgot about, or I haven't thought about in a long time. And when you find that one song that plugs right into your circuits, it can light you up like the Vegas Strip. And depression and fatigue and malaise, be damned. Cast you into the fires of hell. This reignition of your passion is very important to hold on to. And it should be put into practice regularly. Your musical passion is like a fire, okay? It needs to be tended to, or it can go out. Stoking the coals, fanning the flames, adding more fuel, these are all things that are necessary for you to keep burning brightly with your creative passion, your creative power, your motivation to create. Taking the time to feed your passion with music is equally important as what you practice. A well-tended fire, burning hot enough, will continue to burn even through a downpour. Don't get discouraged. Get inspired and keep your passion ignited. Now, how do we go about pushing for improvement when we are feeling that low energy? Don't practice. Play instead. You might say, whoa there, crazy man-child. That sounds completely ridiculous. You are an idiot. But work is work. You gotta put in the work if you want to get better. And the basis of that is true, but let me pose a question to you. How much do you love going to work? How much do you enjoy the idea of getting up and doing chores? How much of a bummer is it when you think about how much homework that you had to do? Does this make you excited to do it? Probably not. So differentiating in your own mind between work and play, that is something that our brains have been doing for most of our lives. If you ever have tricked a child into doing chores by making it a game, you know what this is about. And if you're saying, nah, I don't know about that, guess what? You were a kid and somebody manipulated you with the idea of playing a game to do chores, to tidy up, to help them with gardening or yard work or anything. It becomes a game. Or even think about just the idea of turning that kind of work into a game. Suddenly the time goes faster. You're not drudging through the work and everything changes. So the perception difference between work and play means the difference between doing something begrudgingly and excitedly taking on an activity. This is a fundamental skill. It needs to be understood and it needs to be put into practice to maintain your playing progress consistently. Does this mean don't run scales and practice just noodling without a metronome? Fuck no. Of course not. I'd be a terrible teacher if I recommended that you just fuck around, But keeping the power of perception in mind. What can you do for a practice routine to make it fundamentally change from work to play? So, keeping a topic of the day or a topic of the week in mind can help you maintain focus on improvement. You have a compass point, you have a direction. This is going to permeate into everything you do if you just have that kind of stuck on the wall in front of you and you know to think about it, work on it, work through it. But after doing some basic scales, chord changes to warm up, whatever you do, consider taking what fundamental stuff that you are working on and try making them musical. What a crazy thought. Why not take what you're practicing and make music with it? Why not play it? Try jamming on a new chord type or a weird grip that you figured out on the guitar. Or work on making melodies from a new scale or a mode that you're practicing and focusing on and trying to get more familiar with. This helps get it under your fingers. This helps get it into your ear, into your brain, into your heart. You understand the motions. You understand the emotions that you can conjure with these things when you spend a bit of time using them. It's fun making music. You feel accomplished by doing something like that. And it's practically applying the stuff that you are learning, putting it to use in real situations. So you like playing that song that you love, but you have trouble making yourself just get down to business and practice. By turning your work into play, not only does this remove barriers, but it makes those mental connections take place that signify true learning, true change, and ultimately real growth. If you want to learn more about any of the topics discussed on today's episode, or if you'd like to expand your horizons so you can make the most amount of impact with your music, please be sure to check us out at mfile.ca.